Okay boys, so today we're revising the XY intercept method. You can look at that at any stage you like, those notes there, but I'm here to tell you it is really rather simple. This is the key concept behind using the, the XY intercept method. And listen good, to find the Y-intercept, we let X equal 0. To find the X-intercept, we let Y equal 0. It's as simple as that. And it's sort of reverse order, isn't it? So, here's our first example. What we're going to do is say X-intercept. So we're telling the reader what it is we're doing. We're finding the X-intercept. So to find the X-intercept, we let Y equal 0. That is tantamount to just blocking out the Y, isn't it? Okay? Because we're letting Y equal 0. So, to write the full working, we could do that, but I don't mind if you skip straight to this line here. Therefore, the X-intercept is 6. And we should really write it as a coordinate, because it is a coordinate, 6, 0. And so to find the Y-intercept, we let X equal 0. I didn't write that in above, but let X equal 0. Therefore, 0 minus Y equals 6. Therefore, negative Y equals 6. Therefore, Y equals negative 6. Okay? So, to repeat the process over here, I'll plot the graphs on a new page. By the way, I should have written that as a coordinate. The Y-intercept is 0, negative 6. Alright, to our second example, which is no more difficult really. So we're going to say, to find the X-intercept, we let Y equal 0. Tantamount to blocking out the Y, isn't it? Because 2 times 0 is 0. Okay, so it's tantamount to blocking out the Y. In fact, let's just forget about the Y. And we end up with that. Okay, so now we've got a little linear equation to solve, which I hope is not going to be too difficult for you. First step, add 6 to both sides. Second step, divide both sides by 4. So X equals 6 on 4, which of course equals 3 on 2. No need to write that as 1.5. In high-level mathematics, we tend to prefer improper fractions. So following that logic for the Y-intercept, we let X equal 0. Let X equals 0. Once again, it amounts to blocking out the X2, doesn't it? Even if it was a negative sign, you just block it out, because anything times 0 is 0. So, we get this. I'm going to write it out in full, but at the same time, I'm going to add 6 to both sides, okay? Therefore, Y equals 3. And my Y-intercept is 0, 3. I didn't actually write this down as an X-intercept, which is a bit of an omission. So, 3 over 2, 0. And that's how we find our X and Y intercepts. And of course, all we need is 2 points to plot a straight line. So, on the next page, I'm going to plot those now that I know the intercepts I'm looking at. Okay? It's handy to know for plotting purposes where your intercepts are. Alright, so I've got for this one, I'm going to have an X-intercept at 6 and a Y-intercept of negative 6. Okay, that's telling me, a bit of thought should go into the planning of this. What was my equation again? X minus Y equals 6. So, the X-intercept was 6, 0, and the Y-intercept was 0, negative 6, wasn't it? Okay, looking at those coordinates is suggesting to me that I'm going to need quite a bit in the positive X direction, quite a bit in the negative Y direction. Okay, that's why you don't draw up your number plane until you know what the intercepts are. Okay, so quite a bit in the X positive direction, and quite a bit in the Y negative direction. So I'm going to draw my axes like that. Okay? I am, of course, going to label them. Y pointing upwards, downwards, and X pointing across. Let's put arrows on there. And all I need to do now is this. I need to put a kind of random coordinate there on the x-axis, and I'm going to label that 6, and a randomish one there, -6, and all I need to do is join the lines up, join the dots, and produce the line on either side with arrows on it. And I should, of course, label that plot. Okay? Now the second one, can someone please read out the equation for me first?
4x plus 2y minus 6
Equals 0.
equals 0.
Okay. And the x-intercept was? The x-intercept was 3 over 2, comma 0. And the y-intercept was? 0, comma 3. Okay, yes, 0, comma 3. Okay, so I'm noting here that the y-intercept's positive, the x-intercept's also positive, and they're not huge numbers, so I might just bias my number plane to the quadrants where both x and y are positive, so the first quadrant, and put in my arrows to label it before I forget, like so, like so. I should label the origin, and it really is this simple, guys. The y-intercept's 3, so randomish point there, perhaps, oops, that's a bit large, and randomish point for my 3 on 2. So, randomish point on the x-axis, of course, is what I meant there. And again, I simply join the dots, produce the lines, which means extend them in both directions, arrows indicating that this line goes on forever, has an infinite domain and range for that matter, and all I need to do is label it. And I might just do that properly this time. So 4x plus 2y minus 6 equals 0. And that's how you plot lines using the x, y intercept method. Thank you.